We're joined today by John Boyd Jr. with the National Black Farmers Association. John, sure appreciate you jumping on. Thank you so much for taking time to visit with us. You know, as a farmer, I'm sure this is that time of year, and a cattle guy, you're probably staying pretty busy. What's been going on for you?
Well, it's been busy and was a slow harvest for us this year. So generally, I would have been finished almost 2 months ago harvesting my soybeans. I got caught in the rainy season, so we're just finishing up that and just getting everything ready for spring planting. This fastly approaching.
Yeah. Talked about your outlook for 2023. What's on your radar of things that you'd like to see either happen or accomplish there at your place?
Well, it's a lot of things, challenges that we have, and you know, right now we're not too happy with the President Biden. The administration hasn't provided debt relief for many of our members that we've been waiting for about 3 decades, and that passed. It was repealed, and you know, inflation, the high cost of equipment has risen about 14%. Fertilizer has doubled. Diesel fuel has just about tripled, you know, in some places. So we have a lot of input costs that we have to pay up front that, you know, we just wasn't planning to pay that much for all of these costs.
Yeah,
So we're going to have to reorganize and reshuffle and figure out, you know, what and how we're going to spend our resources in the coming months, which is very challenging for me and thousands of other farmers and producers that are making those same choices right now.
Yeah. Your organization, National Black Farmers Association, you all do a lot. I see you in lots of places talking about the group and black farmers here in the country. Tell us a little bit about the association, kind of the goals, the mission, and being a voice, you know, for that group.
Well, thank you very much for that question. And we're celebrating Black History Month, and yeah, no better time to talk about it than, you know, maybe right now where, you know, at the turn of the century, you know, black farmers represented 1 million black families strong in the United States, and we were tilling about 20 million acres. And we really face an extinction today. Numbers have dwindled down to less than 50,000 black farmers. And we've lost just about down to 4.5 million acres of land. So we've lost a lot of land, lost a lot of farmers, and we've been trying to press Congress to make some much needed changes so that we can pass along what's left of our generational wealth to the next generation of farmers. But I formed the organization many years ago to help preserve the rich history of our black farmers in this country, from slavery to sharecropping to Jim Crow, many of the challenges that we faced as producers. And amazingly, we're still here by the grace of God, tilling America's soil. So we have such a long history there.
Yeah. Such a great embedded history in American agriculture. What do you find that people misunderstand, or maybe questions that you get asked a lot as a black farmer here in the U.S.?
Well, believe it or not, there are many people that don't even know that black farmers exist. So basically, we have to do more educational and training and raise our visibility to let more Americans know that we're here. And we have 116,000 members in 46 states, primarily in the eastern corridor of the United States, all the way around to Texas and Mississippi and Alabama are our 2 biggest states, and about 3,000 black farmers in California. So very widespread and spread out. But like I said, many Americans still don't know that we've been here. We've been doing the amazing work of agriculture and helping feeding America for many generations.
Yeah. You mentioned some policy stuff. Talk to me about some priorities for you in the next year or two before we get, obviously, to the next election cycle and all of that. What do you hope to see accomplished here?
I hope to see in the coming year more dialogue about America's farmers. It's missing from the discussion. You know, most of our country people are still rural America outside of the major cities. And we have to raise our voices, especially as farmers, to let people know that we're here, what our needs are. And we're very proud people and independent people. We don't like to be told what to do, things of that nature. No farmer wants to be told that. But we have to raise our visibility and let the administration and whoever is running, we want to hear what they have to say on how they're going to help America's farmers stay on the land so we can do what we know we can do, pretty good. So the Biden administration isn't doing that right now. They made a lot of promises to the National Black Farmers Association. We supported them, and probably 99% of our membership voted for them. And the same way they found us during the campaign is the same way we would like to be treated during the time that they're in office. And for the Republicans, we need to hear from you. Don't shy away from black farmers because they think that they're going to vote Democrat or whatever. Make a plea for their support too, and that's what's missing from the black farmer side of things. So you're going to hear people say, "Well, why did they vote for Biden?" Well, quite simply, he really courted their support. He really came after me for their support, and I would like to hear from Democratic presidential leaders that's going to be running for office and how they could help with some of the issues that we face. And I know a lot of people don't understand why we still need a Black Farmers Association. When they stop asking us for our signature on farm loan applications, such as USDA, to identify ourselves as Black, and at banks as Black, and finishing last at all of the corporations, then we can integrate into America's system. But right now, every day I go out here, the challenges are far more difficult for me as a Black farmer trying to stay on the land. So people need to understand what's going on here as well.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And you talked a little bit about the debt relief program, obviously disappointed in what happened there over the last year or so. Where are we in that process as far as, kind of raising that to another level?
Well, right now we're in federal court. So we filed a complaint back in November, and we haven't heard really from the courts. The government has filed from, I think, 2, maybe 3 extensions to respond to our complaint. And hopefully, we're hopeful that we get class certification and that the government live up to its commitment. We never got 40 acres and a mule, people. That's all the myth. Blacks never received that in this country. And then we were able to get debt relief, after I tried for 30 years to get it. We finally got it. And then it was repealed by Congress, 120%. And we would like for this administration and Congress to do what it promised and committed to do, which was 120%, 20% for taxes and 100% debt relief, which would allow many farmers to get their deeds of trust back. And if they didn't want to farm anymore and pass it on to their children, fine. But farmers like myself, I want to continue to farm. And many times these policies are really hurting my farming operation. And that's what we have to band together to do.
And I think I saw somewhere where you said, it's really about the planning process, right? This was passed, it came out, people started making plans, and then all of a sudden was pulled back.
Right, and we made plans based on the agreement that we signed with USDA. So for people that are watching this isn't something that we didn't uphold on our end of the bargain. The government broke its contract between Black and other farmers of color and simply said that they weren't going to do it, and they repealed it. And based on that commitment, many Black farmers made changes in their farming operations. They bought tractors and things that they thought they would need to improve their farming operations. That's what the government told them to do. And here again, the government has failed Black farmers the way they've been failing us for many, many generations. And I've been trying to fix that. And I would like to say on your show, no one is against white farmers. And I hope that they can read my sincerity when I say that. If you're putting the plow and disc harrow in the ground the same time that I am, and you're entitled to federal program and relief programs, you should get it, and you should get it on time. And what I've been saying my whole life is, so should I. I've never sued a white farm organization or tried to prevent them from receiving any aid that they're rightfully due. But I have, I've been sued and blocked and the debt relief program. So my plea here today is for us to start to work together and embrace some of the things that have happened, acknowledge it, so that we can move forward as all American farmers. And until that happens, it's like being stuck in the mud, people. For whoever had a 2-wheel drive truck and you're stuck in the mud, just spinning. We have to get out that rut, and the only way to do it is to have conversations like I'm having on your show right now and begin to acknowledge it and work together. And that's what we need in presidential leadership, someone that could work with everybody, and that's not happening.
Yeah, absolutely. obviously plenty of challenges for black farmers. Are there anything is there anything you're like really proud of, hey, we've accomplished this, we're still here, you know, give me some good tangible things that are wins.
Well, first of all, we don't want any sympathy from anybody. We're very dignified people. That's the first thing. But we certainly need all the support we can get by Americans getting behind this campaign and working along with us. But I would like to point out a few things. I'm a generational farmer. I was taught to farm by my grandfather, Thomas Boyd, a very skilled farmer, and my daddy, John Boyd Sr., who recently passed away. We worked side by side for many, many decades. He taught me that the land knows no color and never mistreated anybody, that people, all great things come from the land: clean drinking water, timber to build your house, food to provide and raise your family. And if I continue to work hard, eventually I'll be able to pay my bills. If I continue to work hard, I will eventually be able to take care of my family. And every good thing, people, comes from a farm. Farmers are the most least recognized people in American history, and we should be the first. You know, we may not need a doctor or lawyer today, but somewhere along the line, you're going to need an American farmer when you sit down today and have lunch and breakfast and dinner. Put the farmer and treat the farmer where he needs to be. And last but not least, whatever you do, put God first. And if you put God first, there's no way you can fail. Those are the principles that I was raised on. When someone hires you to work, you go to work. And that's what's wrong with a lot of Americans today. We've gotten away from the work ethic that I was taught by my grandfather and daddy. People just don't want to work anymore. Get back into agriculture and reestablish America's work ethic that made us one of the world's superpowers, people.
Yeah, it's great. Love that generational advice, right? That it seems like as farmers that gets passed along from one generation to the next, that work ethic, those lessons that we teach each other. What do you love about your job every day?
Well, I love the farm. I love the land. And I fell in love with the farm as a kid when I first smelled the soil. When that plow went in, it opened up the ground. There's nothing like that smell of the soil. And there's no greater feeling than harvest time and planting season. When that planter first goes in the ground and that first round of soybeans comes into the combine and that first round of corn comes into the combine, there's no greater feeling than that self-gratification. And I love it. I'm going to die as a farmer, regardless of the government does anything. I'm not leaving the land, and I'm going to keep my plow and plant in the ground.
Absolutely. John Boyd Jr., sure appreciate you taking time to visit with us here.
Thank you very much for having me. God bless you.
Same to you. Thank you.